Well, welcome to Manchester United video. I hope you share with me some of the great moments of the season. And what I've done is I've picked up several games over the season, which I think, and I'm sure you will agree, they were absolutely enthralling, exciting, entertaining matches, full of action, drama, controversy. So sit back and enjoy them with me. I know you will. Well, after last season's great battle for the title with Villa, I think you're always anticipating that when you ever meet them again, it's going to be really a very difficult game. We got them the third match of the season, and we were without Eric Cantona, who had a small injury at the time. And I have to say that, and everyone I speak to about the match, I think it was one of the best games ever in the Premiership since the inauguration of it. And it was a thoroughly fantastic match in the sense that both teams played exceptionally well, which is not the norm when a team wins the game 2-1 as we did. But the pitch was beautiful, and I always feel in a night game when the floodlights are on and a good pitch, it's British football, and that was the best you saw.
So the two sides coming out to a tumultuous welcome. The Holt end absolutely packed. There's about 40,000 fans here. A perfect summer's night still for football. It should be something of a feast, this, if it's anything like the meetings between these two sides last season. Massive atmosphere. You get the impression that these fans know that something special could happen here tonight. And that's just not hype on our part. It's based on the evidence of what we saw from these two sides last season. Aston Villa, one of only 6 teams who could beat Manchester United in the league last season. An early touch for Gary Parker, who's been reintroduced into the side. That's taken one or two people by surprise. Richardson, the Villa skipper. There's Steve Bruce.
I think you say that, Ian, about Gary Parker, but we can remember the start he had to the season last year. It really was a blistering start from Gary Parker, and although he didn't really play an awful lot at the end of the season, he had this deep-rooted groin injury, but he got his best tally of league goals that he's ever had, and I think that's a good sign. And if he's fully fit, and you watch him break forward and cause some problems.
He's had a hernia operation. He's fit again now. Now, here comes Lee Sharp getting his first start of the season. Spink getting his first touch. Spink, who's keeping Mark Bosnich out of the side at the moment, the 35-year-old. Now, Earl Barrett. Parker, who's been told to drift into more forward positions as and when he can.
Well, that's the best way to keep Roy Keane quiet if you were playing against him. That's by make him track you back towards his own goal. But you can bet your life there'll be a few nerves out there. A lot of professionals there, steeped in hundreds of league games, but there's something special about this fixture tonight. There really is.
Now Villa looking to create something early. Ray Houghton. McGrath in quickly. Ince trying to find a drive forward from midfield. Now Kanchelskis wearing the unfamiliar number 14 shirt. Sharp. Kanchelskis again drifting into an unfamiliar position in centre field. Parker. Here's Sharp from Manchester United. Looking for the cross. Looks inviting too. Kanchelskis is in there, and Brian Small has to concede the corner.
Well, that's Lee Sharp to a tee. only needs half a yard. He doesn't need any encouragement, and he'll deliver invariably a telling cross into the area.
Ryan Giggs with the corner for Manchester United. Dropping around, Ince was almost in there, and still maybe something for Bruce, and Villa there at 6s and 7s. Hughes had a bit of a sniff of a chance as well.
I can't believe the marking of Mark Hughes. He's at the edge of the 6-yard box, and he was in acres of space. Steve Staunton's made his way towards him now, but he's still free.
Atkinson gets this one away. Early scare for Aston Villa. Here's Parker. Giggs again. Did well to get the cross in, but behind and into safety.
Well, look at that corner again. As it comes over, Gary Pallister goes in and causes all the confusion there, but you see as it runs through the back post, he's stepping into an acre of space, and he doesn't direct his header well enough. It was a difficult chance, not easy at all for Mark Hughes.
Parker just giving it away in the midfield. Tight and congested. Saunders going down, play on, says the referee. Keane caught by Richardson after the ball had gone away. And I think David Ellery will want a word with Kevin Richardson about that.
Yeah, Kevin Richardson definitely catches Roy Keane late here. You see the ball's away and then it comes in down the back of his ankle on the Achilles tendon area. No wonder Roy Keane was a bit upset about that.
Well, he spoke to him long and hard. I didn't see him wave the yellow card at Richardson.
No, a quick word in his ear I think was enough there.
I just wondered for a minute because he did seem to have the card in his hand. Here's Hughes. Sharp trying to pick up Irwin's run. Absolutely luxuriant kind of surface. Once again, early season. Now Dean Saunders looks for his partner in crime, Dalian Atkinson. Parker will have to work hard and does. He's pacey, good man marker.
That would have been a cracking test of pace between those two.
Chalskis at the forefront of Alex Ferguson's thoughts, it would seem, at the start of this season, having been set for much of last. Manchester United, remember, starting play here, 2 points clear of Villa, and Brian Robson and then Andy Gray both making the point that Villa won't want to slip 5 points behind them, even this early on. Here's Hughes. Made it difficult for Ince. Parker's picked it up for Villa. Atkinson making a little run for him. And Pallister in well there. United who had a bit of a roasting from Alex Ferguson, so we're led to believe over the weekend after what was described as a complacent performance against Newcastle United. They dropped their first points of the season. Still 7 out of 9 though. It's not a bad start, is it? Here's Barrett now for Villa. Nice football from him. Parker. Barrett on the overlap. The cross comes in and a chance for Atkinson and nearly a goal. Well, where were the United defenders there?
I think you'll find Steve Bruce just does enough here. But what a wonderful passing move from Aston Villa. And a very, very good cross. But watch Steve Bruce there. He just gets enough on it to take the pace off the header. Dalian Atkinson must imagine that he scored here. He must think. But look at Bruce. Dives in, just puts him off enough.
Well, a little scare at both ends inside the first 10 minutes. Now, Roy Keane, we haven't seen much of him so far. Ince looking to get sharp in behind Earl Barrett, but you don't see many forwards getting the better of Earl Barrett, recalled, of course, to the England ranks in the summer, and certainly a contender for the right back spot for the big important games coming up. Lovely skill off the outside of his boot to Small, who wants to attack Kanchelskis. There's a lot of pacey players out on that pitch, Andy.
so many, I'm glad I'm not there, I'll tell you. There is a pace about the game as well, Louis, and the general tempo of the game is high, and that's a good thing as well.
Irwin rampaging forward down the left-hand side. Houghton doing just about enough. Now the decision is given as a corner. I'm not sure Houghton got a touch there.
He might have given a free kick in.
No, he has,
sure.
yeah.
He's stopping it there, and just a little shove there. And I think if that's the decision, he's probably right.
Giggs to take it, and the header coming in from Roy Keane, who's so dangerous in those situations. How many of you seen him score for Forest arriving like that in the penalty area?
No, you can't allow that to happen. Sean Teal just takes his eye off him there just for a minute, and it allows Keane a free run there. I mean, you can't give that amount of space to somebody like Keane who attacks the ball. El Barrett's the one he climbs above. He's standing. Keane's got the run on him, and he's always going to be favourite in that situation.
That was not very far away. Hughes gets the better of McGrath. Giggs is carried on with his run. Chance here for Manchester United, and still could be a goal. And it is for Lee Sharp. Villanelle, Manchester United won, and Lee Sharp marks his return to the side with a goal.
It's Lee Sharp's goal, but what a big thank you he's got to pay to Collins. It was all about his determination to make something happen. Watch the run, but it's here where he gets brave. He knows he's getting clobbered, and Sharp commits himself, throws it, knows he needs a touch, and it's in. Look at Ince again. He's determined. Great play by Giggs. He holds it, lets him get in there. El Barrett's a little bit asleep in my opinion there, and that's just enough for Lee Sharp to dink it into the net.
This is going to make him feel very good as well. It's a lovely move by United. Giggs just timing that. And across here, and Sharp wins the race. Villanelle, Manchester United won, and Ince, for his trouble there, has taken quite a bad knock and has been on the floor like that ever since the ball hit the back of the net. But for Lee Sharp, who scored only one goal in 30 appearances, starts and substitute last year, well, that will lift him to be on the score sheet, because some say his goal return is a bit thin. He was as good as his name there, wasn't he, Andy?
He's taken a whack all over his body from a goalkeeper as big as Nigel Spink. You're about to feel it, Ian. But I think when he's got up from that and he's realised his side are 1-0, a good anaesthetic, that, you know.
Richardson into Parker. Now Staunton. Scored an absolute screamer against United last season. Saunders with the cross, dangerous. Away by Pallister, and here is Staunton, and nearly for Atkinson. That was a bit more threatening from Villa. Be alive! Parker winning that one well in the air. Just looking at Paul Ince there in the middle of the picture. He's not feeling the shoulder quite so much at the moment. Bargy on the far side, giving Villa the free kick.
It was half a chance for Steve Staunton there, Ian, it really was. With this quality on that left foot, you'll be disappointed they choked a shot.
Parker, Saunders. Another Parker, Paul, denying his namesake Gary. Staunton. Good deep hard cross. Really found Dean Saunders. Well, they're just starting to come into it a little bit more. Richardson, on by Houghton. McGrath was in there. And that's a Villa corner kick.
Well, it's the first piece of real sustained pressure that Aston Villa have really been able to mount in this half.
It's an amazing goalkeeper's jersey that Schmeichel is wearing.
They get more and more incredible, I'll tell you. That's too much.
And he tried to vary it, but it's the sublime to the ridiculous, really.
And that's the one thing that they wouldn't have wanted. Just relieves the pressure on Manchester United, gives them a chance to regroup.
Here's Parker. Looking to spread it right. Barrett giving him that option. Here's Barrett now. Carlton is inside him. There he is. That's nice. Barrett. Couldn't quite find the angle for the cross. Now Parker. Richardson there. And the header down and almost in by Daly and Atkinson. That was sliding and gaining pace off the turf.
Well, it's a fantastic header. He's not renowned for his heading ability. I thought as it arrived there, he was going to take this in his chest. You see Steve Bruce missing it, but he opts for the header. It really was a wonderful header. Peter Schmeichel will tell you he had that covered. I'm not so sure. We got a great view of it from this angle. Very powerful header. You think it's bending in there, and that's so close to giving Villa the equaliser.
It kissed the post. Parker. Here's Richardson. Better from Villa at the moment. How they'd love a goal just before the break, or any time, come to think of it. McGrath. He's singing of the shot. Hit it well enough.
This has been the best spell. It really has. Even Paul McGrath, how he loves to score tonight. You see, he just catches it spinning away from Peter Schmeichel's post, and he had that covered quite easily.
Hughes heads this one off. Giggs, oh, that was a lovely piece of work from him, really was. Kanchelskis, Ince coming forward, injury or no, and McGrath reading it.
That's the one thing you have to admire about this side that Alex Ferguson's put together. They can be under pressure for long spells in the game, but within an instant they just turn defence into attack. Look at Paul Ince again. A better ball from Andrew Kanchelski and he's in there. But Paul McGrath was always favourite when it was played in the air.
Giggs' corner, Pallister attacking it, McGrath is there again. Ince looking for the volley. From the United fans is champions, champions. United in the end won the title by 10 points last season, but that didn't really tell the story because Villa pushed them right up until the last 7 days. And I think the key thing for football was that both of the sides, and come to think of it, Norwich as well, did it playing very attractive soccer. Parker. Small. Parker again, he's seeing a lot of the ball on his return to the side. Houghton's got in there. Sharp it was, who was back with the defensive header. United working so hard for each other. Of course, Eric Cantona hasn't had a kick in the Premiership yet this season. We've still got him to come in. It's almost frightening, isn't it? Giggs here. What's the decision here from David Alloway?
Free kick.
The United free kick.
Yeah, just had a little tug at him, Paul McGrath. Ryan Giggs looking to do what he does in that situation so well. Just flick it over the defender's head and get the other side of him.
More danger for Villa. Defenders have come forward as well here. Irwin in there and a flicked header from Bruce. And again, that really was a nervy moment for Aston Villa.
They've not defended set pieces very well tonight, Aston Villa, at all. It's been noticeable that Manchester United have attacked them in all the right areas, in all good areas. Steve Bruce only needed a fraction more than that.
His ball forward here. Giggs breaking down the middle again. McGrath getting the middle of the tussle. It's a really fascinating battle. Now here's Daly and Atkinson. Saunders has pulled away to the far post. Atkinson might go on his own. Is that crept in? Daly and Atkinson. Schmeichel couldn't keep it out, and Villa are level. Almost on the stroke
Steve was going to catch him. But look, Dean Saunders is working for a position. He can't get one. His only option's a shot. And big questions over Peter Schmeichel. A goalkeeper of his quality shouldn't be beaten on his near post like that. Alex Ferguson will be absolutely furious.
Well, I hesitated for a moment because I thought that Schmeichel must have saved it, pushed it round the post, but it crept in.
I'll tell you what, Gary Palliser did well for his goalkeeper.
Hughes meanwhile. Giggs. United almost come back straight away. 1-1.
Well, if I say Alex Ferguson will be furious about that goal getting in, had they conceded a goal then, Aston Villa, then I'll tell you what, the paint would have been coming off the Aston Villa dressing room.
3 goals now this season already for Dalian Atkinson. Parker, here he is again. Oh, that's a great challenge from Pallister, it really was. Another quality match between these two pleasing sides. Houghton trying to chip. Well, it has to be said, we say a lot of nice things about Peter Schmeichel in the course of the season, but he'll be the first to admit it, that was a mistake. Now Giggs. Sharp's up there. Still Giggs. And Villa anxious now to make sure that having worked to get the equaliser, they don't give it away again just before the break. Here's Keane. Ince. Taking up a very interesting position. Kanchelski's here with space. Oh, close.
Oh, wonderful. This is great stuff. It really is. The 48th minute of the game. You think they might be settling for half-time to get a breather, but not Manchester United. Look at the way the Ince plays in Kanchelskis wonderfully. I thought he'd taken too many touches of it. Fires it across the goal, and if you're going to miss, then that's the side to miss on. A touch from the goalkeeper, and someone could just be tapping it in.
He's a man with a tremendous shot from what look very difficult angles. We saw that Queen's Park Rangers, Norwich last season. Parker trying to measure this one. Bruce, the United skipper, with the last touch, as it turns out, of an enchanting first half here. Lee Sharp putting Manchester United ahead. The equaliser arriving from Dalian Atkinson. It's Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 1, and we're set for a great second half.
It was just about the time of the season when both teams were on good runs, and they're always good games against Villa anyway. But that was, I think, Andy Gray said it's one of the best games he's ever seen or something.
A bit of opportunism from Sharp. It was his first game of the season, and he got us off to a great start. And I thought we were just looking for the second one when they got the equaliser right in half time.
I like playing in black. I always score in black. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
So 1-1 at half time. We're sitting at half time saying, for God's sake, we can't lose goals like this.
In the FA Carling Premiership, half-time score, Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 1. Manchester United dominating for the first half an hour. Villa coming back and being rewarded with the goal from Dalian Atkinson, who's got his shooting boots on again at the start of this season, as he did last, although then injury hit him quite hard in the second half of the season. He missed about 4 months. Villa then, in their claret and blue strip, who get us underway at the start of the second half, attacking their beloved Holt End.
I'll tell you what was a fascinating start, Ian, at half-time. Offside won in the whole game. I think what that shows is that both defences are respecting the pace that they're up against. None of them are trying to hold up the defence, they're dropping deep all the time, and he'll be a lot happier drawing them now than he was 5 minutes before the interval.
Here's Giggs. Small. He gives it straight back to Giggs, rather bizarrely. Keane.
A strange sort of way, if you're Aston Villa, you're Ron Atkinson, when you're defending like that is your best chance, I feel, for Villa to expose Manchester United when they've got Pallister and Bruce up near the halfway line. It really is in that situation that you would fancy Daly and Atkinson and Dean Saunders with a grass behind them to get into it.
Rare mistake by Hughes, allowing Staunton in here. Oh, almost finding Dean Saunders, but here's Gary Parker. Scorer of vital goals from midfield, Gary Parker.
It's a fraction away from being a absolutely spot-on cross. Only the height of Gary Pallister. Look, Dean Saunders got a great position there. But look at Parker's first touch. That was the key to his enabling to get a shot in there. His first touch isn't good enough, the chance is gone. But look at that. Kills it perfectly, exactly where he wants to. Can't quite keep on target.
Here's Giggs again. Some people feel that his best position is playing as a roving striker, sometimes going into the centre, sometimes drifting wide, just causing as much damage as he can where he can, and of course he can cause plenty of it. Free kick coming in. Here's Steve Bruce, it nearly reaches him. He was waiting there.
He thought he had that, you know, Steve Bruce, and he would have done, had it not been for Paul McGrath. How often you see McGrath rise in a packed area like that and just get the faintest touch.
Ince. United looking to regain the control that they held for most of that first half.
Here it is again. It's a wicked cross from Ryan Giggs. Pace, accuracy. Look at McGrath. Just enough as Bruce came in behind him into a huge gap.
Manchester United with another corner. And Giggs again with maybe a telling cross. Pallister's in there. It was away by Small on the near post this time. Giggs again with a different kind of cross. He can vary them.
I suppose trying to control that rugby ball when he was a kid was what helped his ball control.
Saunders with that instinctive effort. And what a goal that would have been, and a great save by Peter Schmeichel.
Well, that's Dean Saunders to a tee. He doesn't need an invitation to shoot. He knows where the goal is. He hits it perfectly with great accuracy. And that's a wonderful save from Peter Schmeichel.
Staunton away by Ince, only as far as Kevin Richardson, who's lining this one up, and he hits a post. Tremendous effort. What action we're having here at Villa Park. Goodness me, that hit that post so hard. I thought for a moment it was going to rip it out of the ground.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Kevin Richardson doesn't hit many with his left foot, and he won't hit any better than this. That's an absolute screamer. Even Peter Schmeichel doesn't bother going for it. He's absolutely helpless. Watch it again. The control's very good, but look at the strike. Beat Schmeichel, all ends up.
Parker into Richardson. Back to McGrath. The Republic of Ireland connection, which is so strong in the Villa ranks these days. Atkinson this time. Spread wide. Parker to Saunders. He's done well, he's held it to Richardson. Paul Parker getting it away from Manchester United. If you're not enjoying this, I would humbly suggest you don't like football.
It really is so difficult to predict which way the game is going to fall. 1 minute it looks like one team has a grip on the game, and next minute the other team will break away and create something.
Richardson. Villa certainly posing more problems, asking more questions now.
We're just going to have another little look at this hit from Kevin Richardson. His first touch is all important again. He sets it up perfectly. The strike is excellent. And really, Peter Schmeichel's waving that goodbye, isn't he? And he's rescued by his good work.
Now Atkinson's through here. Saunders in support. Atkinson might think of the shot again. He does!
Well, I'll tell you what, when Daly and Atkinson hits him, he hits him. Steve Bruce gets caught out here, and again Atkinson busts through. Gary Pallister again shows him the near post. You see that? He's shown him the near post. He opts for the far post this time. That's the more difficult angle, and it was always swerving wide. You see it from here. Look, Gary Pallister's saying, go and shoot near post, but you can see that one's bending away.
Well, he's quite a player, isn't he, Dalian Atkinson? And he can't be a million miles away, I would think, if he stays fit. And Graham Taylor's thoughts now. Parker's challenge on Staunton, who quickly gets up. But I think Mr. Ellery may want to know more about it. And Paul Parker will be spoken to here. And he's only spoken to. There's no booking.
Yeah, quite worked here. He's committed to the tackle. You see, thankfully he doesn't catch Steve Staunton. And I think that's what the referee saw as well.
Here's Earl Barrett for Aston Villa. Trying to find Saunders and Pallister, who was so outstanding for England on the US tour. One of the few successes of that trip with that challenge. Look at United, great speed about it. Keane, Kanchelskis, Small there with him, holding him off. Now Roy Keane. The flick header from Giggs.
That was a perfect example defensively of why Brian Small was picked. Never looked like losing that race to Andrew Kanchelskis.
Bruce with Atkinson. Steve Bruce. Atkinson fighting in with the challenge.
Well, that's another thing that's happened in the second half. That's the first time in the match that the front two of Aston Villa have put that kind of pressure on the centre-backs when they've had the ball. And obviously it's something that Ron Atkinson said he wanted.
And Saunders with Bruce again. Two of the liveliest forwards in the Premiership, Saunders and Atkinson, against what's proven to be, for 2 seasons, the best defence. Hughes. It's looking for the 1-2. Giggs. Hughes again. Terrific football from Manchester United, and Small with the interception.
This is wonderful stuff, it really is.
Keane. And here he is again. 3.75 million. That was a markup of 3.74 million for Nottingham Forest. 10,000 quid when he came over from Ireland.
Not a bad return, was it, on your investment?
We're hearing from the benches that Ron Atkinson is telling Dean Saunders to pull out a bit wider sometimes and attack Manchester United from wide positions and down the channels. Have a look for that. Here is Saunders going pretty wide as well. Needed some pace to keep that in, but did. Up goes Atkinson for it. Bruce wins it. What power on that header. Dean Saunders just beginning to get a lot more involved in things now.
Well, I said that in the first half they were a little bit anonymous early on, but they didn't have the service they want. They need the ball fed down the sides.
Here's the corner. Up goes Big McGrath. He doesn't win it because Pallister did. Just. Richardson. Away by Ince for Hughes. Last season's runners-up Aston Villa won. Last season's champions Manchester United won. And it's Giggs for the champions. That almost worked for Sharp. He's kept it in as well. Kanchelskis. Oh, and the save from Nigel Spink.
Well, you can bet your life that there's been a flea in Gary Parker's ear and anything more come of this. Shouldn't be losing out like that, but what a cross Lee Sharp produces. And that's a very good header backing away from goal from Andrew Kanchelskis. The quality was in the cross, no doubt about it from that man.
Still, the game ebbs and flows. Now Staunton. Now Saunders. Just sold a wee bit short. It gives United a chance for a counter with speed. Kanchelskis has got plenty of that. Here he is again. Used it well in the build-up. Kanchelskis. And now Villa can counter. United have a few men committed forward. Parker. Staunton. Small has come up wide on this left-hand side. Not the best of balls there.
You won't be happy with that, Steve Staunton. There's a good opportunity to produce something there.
Onside here, Ryan Giggs. A little bit wide still, Giggs. Can he do it? Oh, the inside of the post. Can you believe it? And too long for Mark Hughes, but really that was some magical play by Giggs, and it only lacked that finishing touch. He was a whisker away.
Well, a whisker away, exactly. My first reaction is offside, but you can see that he isn't. Sean Teal plays him on there, and once he's away, well, there's no one going to catch him. The question is, can he finish it? You think he has done? Well, it's one each in goals and one each in woodwork. Look at that. Nigel Spink's got quite a good angle. It makes it difficult for Giggs.
Bruce getting in the header. Richardson.
I thought you said it was slowing down.
Yes. I'm not playing though, am I? Just as well. Now, Parker. Here's Dean Saunders. And that took a little deflection on the way through. Schmeichel had to readjust.
I don't think Ray Houghton was too happy with the option though. He played a lovely little 1-2 and Dean Saunders only had to roll it back into his path.
Now Saunders again. Staunton. Is Gary Parker and Ray Houghton. Ray Houghton with this one. Richardson. And Villa just a little bit ponderous there. And United needing no second invitation. Parker for Kanchelskis this time. For Parker. Now Andre Kanchelskis getting goal side of small for once. He's still got it too on the left foot. Kanchelskis, very, very good save indeed from Nigel Spink.
This is goalkeeping of the highest quality here, and football equally as high. Kanchelskis finally gets away from Brian Small, and Sean Teal's got a problem. Had he gone down there, he could easily have gotten a penalty, but he opts for that near post, and a wonderful one-handed save from Nigel Spink.
Making it difficult for young Mark Bosnich to get back into the Villa side with the kind of saves he's made tonight, Spink.
Our possession is 9/10 of the law, and Nigel Spink has that at the moment.
The only survivor of Villa's 1982 European Cup winning side on the pitch. Of course, Gordon Cowans is on the staff. Oh, here is Sharp, one-on-one. Here's a chance for his second goal, and United second, and he's taken it. 2-1. And it's a glory night for young Lee Sharp.
Wide open. Absolutely wide open at the back. Collins looks up. Now look at that gap. Brian Small is a main culprit for me. He's got to see that from left back position and be in a little bit earlier. You see Brian Small at the bottom of the screen. He can see everything ahead of him. He's really got to be pushing or calling Sean Teal, but the one thing he can't be doing is just watching. He ends up watching.
So more problems for Aston Villa. Ron Atkinson is not a happy man. They've got some work to do on that kind of defending on the training ground. Here it is again. Ince picked out Sharp magnificently. You could have driven 3 buses through that gap. Sharp said thanks a lot.
But you see, Nigel Spinks did nothing wrong. Look, he stands big, he stays up. And that's not the biggest side to aim at, was it? But the accuracy was there, and the composure was there, and that was so important in that situation.
Tell you what, Andy, Lee Sharp has doubled last season's goal tally in one. Now here's Staunton. Can Villa come back attack again. Richardson. They looked at their most effective when they were keeping the tempo up right at the start of the second half. Question for Schmeichel, really.
I think Steve Froggatt will be being introduced any minute, Ian. I'm just looking over and I can see he's taking his tracksuit off and getting ready.
Now, I wonder whether Aston Villa might give a first chance to Guy Whittingham in this situation and hope he sniffs out a goal. Meanwhile, it's United again, though. Hughes. And Staunton getting it back. Aston Villa may make a substitution quite imminently, we think. We'll see. Meanwhile, here's Ince who set up the goal. Sharp. McGrath gets it away. Manchester United, if they hold on to this, can go 5 points clear of Aston Villa, although of course it's very, very early. Keane. Typical run from him. Away by Teal. Villa looking a little groggy at the moment. Ince once more. Here's Keane. Hughes looking to pick up Keane's run. Dangerous looking run. Hughes. Spink must get it forward, but falls nicely for Bruce. We're into injury time. The referee has looked at both linesmen. It really will have to be a late sting from Villa now. Up towards Guy Whittingham. Bruce beats him in the air. Parker back to Schmeichel. And high into the Villa Park night from the Danish goalkeeper. Richardson. Alistair. Nice cushioned little ball from him, that. Nice touch from the big defender. Keane. Irwin. United have looked what they are here tonight. A quality side. Hughes once again. He's had a very, very good game. And that is it. Manchester United make it 3 wins out of 4. They go top of the Premiership. 2 goals for this young man, Lee Sharp. Off go Alex Ferguson and his predecessor as Manchester United manager, Ron Atkinson. Disappointment for Aston Villa, but they paid the penalty really for what was a pretty horrendous piece of defending. Big gap down the middle, and Lee Sharp with a cool finish, which left the scoreline saying Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 2. Paul Ince, who braved the right shoulder injury, had ice treatment at half-time, but played on and lasted the course. Dalian Atkinson, whose goal for Aston Villa looked as if it might retrieve something. But United, it has to be said, are currently mighty impressive.
We shaded it. We shaded it because we just had a better cutting edge to our game. Young Giggs was through the middle that night, and he gave them a real hard time. Mark Hughes, and he battled and bravely for us. It was a wonderful performance. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a fast one to come back into, but luckily, I was there to get 2 goals for us. The first one was a bit scrappy, but the second one was I had plenty of time, so just picked my spot and made sure I didn't change my mind.
That was the thing about it, you had so much time, didn't you? What was going through your mind when you were in on goal?
Well, I realised I'd got loads of space and nobody was catching me, so as I said, I just had to make sure I knew which side I was putting it, and don't change your mind, it's fatal.
And then we got in December again. Once more, I felt it was a tremendous game. We won 3-1. Eric Cantona was in superb form, scored 2. In fact, it was a strange ending to the match because at 1-0, I'm saying, right, just keep it nice and tidy with 2 minutes to go. And Eric Cantona scored a lovely, beautiful goal. He's rode a tackle from Paul McGrath, drew the keeper and side-footed it by him. And seconds later, right from the kick-off, Mark Hughes has played a ball in. One of the defenders didn't quite clear it. Paul Ince has seized on it and whacked it by the goalkeeper in the space of 30 seconds. We're 3 up, and then as we're still celebrating, the right back stole in and scored a goal right in time.
Problem with the Aston Villa away kit, the green and black stripes in regard to the referee's jersey, which is green, as is that worn by Peter Schmeichel. The referee is Joe Worrell, who's passed the potential colour clash as okay from his point of view. Here's Saunders, Small, Barrett in midfield. Parker. Now Barrett. Cross from Cox. Kai Whittingham trying to ease it on. Villa, who dogged Manchester United's footsteps for so long last season, but they're now 6 wins off the pace. They do feel they've been playing reasonably well despite an indifferent sequence of results. Cox. And Parker. It's a very positive start here from Ron Atkins and Aston Villa, epitomised there by Gary Parker. United pinned back into their own half, and finally Villa found a shooting position with Parker.
Oh, it's been a great start for Aston Villa. That's a magnificent strike. I mean, full credit to Schmeichel, to be fair. He's right behind it, but we have to admire the quality of the strike from Gary Parker. And you're right, it's been a very positive start from the visitors.
McGrath with the header, Saunders chasing. Here's Irwin. Oh. Joe Worrell is not going to give any second chances here to Neil Cox, who's surrounded by Manchester United players. Steve Bruce leading the protest.
It's ugly, there's no doubt about that. It's an ugly tackle from Neil Cox. The United players were incensed by it. He's trying to let the ball run away. Cox has committed himself to a very crude looking tackle, and no surprise to see Joe Worrell reach for the yellow card. If you're a defender and that Joe Worrell's ahead of you and you just glance up, I wouldn't be surprised if Joe receives a few passes today.
Of course, we saw the officials when Villa played at Liverpool recently change to white tops. Well, Mark Bosnich had to keep that one covered. On the subject of referees, he actually told Joe Worrell when the teams went out that he refereed a game in midweek and never wants to do it again, Mark Bosnich. Cox, headed forward by Ince. The pass by Cantona, swept to the left towards Lee Sharp. Sharp, who did such damage in August at Villa Park. And now Manchester United starting to put together one or two things and get some momentum going here. Short free kick.
The wide areas are going to be interesting, Martin, if Manchester United get a bit of pressure, because then there'll be a big onus on people like Whittingham and Saunders to work back down the pitch and help the defenders out, because there will be gaps for both Irwin and Parker to go into if they desire, with no one really directly against them.
Richardson, nicely done. And again, Dalian Atkinson taking up a position where United didn't track him. Saunders working the wide position, something Peter With was saying earlier on, that maybe he should be letting others supply the crosses for him.
I think normally he's right, Peter With, at the point, but I think today he's going to have to work the wide areas with the formation that Ron's picked.
Certainly battling hard there. And not at
took Whittingham by surprise. Oh, Kanchelskis, Bostic has started to come, he's totally committed. He can't make any contact. Cantona's in the centre, but the ball isn't. So huge relief for all connected with Aston Villa, especially their goalkeeper.
Well, I don't know what Mark Bosnich was thinking about, but he's very thankful that not for the first or last time he's helped out by Paul McGrath. I mean, you can see McGrath's got everything under control there, and his goalkeeper appears from nowhere, and he's got to make this tackle, McGrath. He knows it, and look at that for determination and commitment. First class.
Well, you can only think, and maybe you forgive him for it, that Mark Bosnich is just caught up in the special atmosphere here, and a bit too excitable.
Well, he's young in the goalkeeping stakes, isn't he?
Influenced, of course, initially by Manchester United and Alex Ferguson. Put on the back burner when Peter Schmeichel arrived, and then decided to go his own way back to Australia. Saunders, that's Whittingham, and Schmeichel has to seize the ball low down.
The key to Villa seems to be, can they get Atkinson on the ball enough? When he has been able to get on control of it, he has dragged one of the centre-backs out of position, and that's created a hole, and perhaps Whittingham and Saunders could get on top of that.
Atkinson again, it's Ince who tackled him that time. Hughes has to hold it up for a moment. And Kanchelskis gets clever footwork. Small, though, is a sprinter too, as you saw.
That's why he's there. No question about the lad's ability in a one-against-one in a race. He'll be there. He won't be found wanting.
Owen. Keane. Now Bruce. McGrath. Such a major figure at Manchester United in the past. Need to catch the eye, I think, for Villa here. And have a lot of work to do at the back. Parker threading it forward for Kanchelskis. Nicely weighted. Kanchelskis with the cross. Cantona climbing! Off the post. Luck with Villa. McGrath hoosed it to safety. Cantona so close.
Amazing when you put a cross of quality in. But Villa were caught short in area where I thought they would be, Matt, and that's wide. Parker and Kanchelskis get involved. They create the opening. I'll tell you what, it's a cross of quality. This is his most difficult cross. This isn't easy. Got to dig it out of there. And Barrett, well, he's out-jumped there totally. And like so often in the games, and the last 3 times these teams have played, how many often have we seen the ball come back off the woodwork? And yet again, Villa saved by it there.
Whittingham. Cantona climbing to a cross on the run from Kanchelskis, and shades of what Robert Lee did to the detriment of Manchester United up at St James's Park last weekend, when Andy Cole, in a far less congested penalty area in truth in that incident, got Newcastle level in that game. Here's Barrett though, leaving the Frenchman to move forward. Saunders. He does like to do that, come in from the left on his right foot, but he really telegraphed his intentions then.
I think he's so keen to get on the score sheet, Martin. He's at the moment trying to shoot from what I would call impossible angles. When perhaps a 1-2 certainly well, Barrett was on there. Barrett had pulled and held his position well. But he had only one thing on his mind there, Dean Saunders, and that was to go for goal.
The surface being slicked now by heavy rain. Saunders. Oh, it comes to Saunders. There's a shot on here. That's the way it's been going for him. Straight at Schmeichel.
It's at times like these when you're struggling for goals that you need to half-hit a shot in this area and bobble it in. Nothing wrong with his connection. Hits it very cleanly and very well, but very straight.
The ball does go high above the stands. The wind is playing a part. Back from Pallister. Kept pretty low by Schmeichel, looking to find Hughes. It was Richardson who intervened. Cox really throwing it down now. Saunders, not a bad idea, not too good with the execution. Michael hurling it well over the halfway line. And Chelskis into overdrive again. Only Hughes in the middle. And you can't hardly blame Manchester United for that. It happened so quickly from one end to the other.
Amazing when your goalkeeper, such a potent weapon when you're going forward, isn't it? But Mark Hughes is unfortunate. You're the only striker there. You have to gamble, do you? Do you go near and check far post, or do you check to go far and go near? Hughes in that case opted to go near post. You see him there indicate they just wanted it fed in there.
Hughes certainly kept on his toes when he was substituted early in the second half at St James's Park. Certainly gave the bench a long hard look when his number came up. But it's the quality of the squad that Alex Ferguson's got at his disposal. I think today Brian McClare and Ryan Giggs on the bench. No room at all for Brian Robson, who's champing at the bit. Joe Worrell has ruled in favour of Manchester United here, coming up to the 20-minute mark. So Pallister with the free kick. Well, no sooner had Sean Teal made the header that he was directing his defenders to get out on that far side to stop Manchester United making inroads again. It's looked a profitable area for them. With Kanchelskis, his infield at the moment, and laid the ball wide to Keane, who was furthest away.
Just looking at Eric Cantona, you see him at the bottom of the screen there on the right. He's just wandering about deep. He knows he's been picked up man for man. He just say to himself, I'll just take myself out of certain areas. Maybe somebody else can get in on that. Bruce.
Well, of course, he'll be used from his experience in France. I'm sure man-for-man marking is not a strange opponent to him. He's giving us the closest moment to a goal. Here come Manchester United again with Mark Hughes. Ince got a foot in. Sharp. Cantona knew he couldn't head for goal. Got it back into an area where Kanchelskis was likely to reach the ball, which he did. Parker. Keane. And Villa are struggling here. Cantona! Manchester United 1. Aston Villa 0. In the 22nd minute, he's hit the post, and now he's hit the back of the net.
No surprise this, Martin. They get caught 3 against 2 on the right, and also they get Daly and Atkinson defending in an unusual position. But you ride the luck a little bit. 3 players, Teal, Barrett and McGrath, all have opportunities to clear it. Goes through Teal's legs at the near post. Barrett can only touch it away from McGrath. And Eric Cantona doesn't miss chances like this.
A year ago to the very day, he scored his first Manchester United goal. That was at Chelsea. And there's his latest.
It was really Roy Keane's run that opened him up, Martin, and Parker picked him out very well indeed.
Here's Richardson. Atkinson. Now Owen. Sharp staying right out on this near touch line. Stretching Villa across their back line. Bruce, and there's plenty of good quality and good width on the far side as well.
And it's times like this as the opposing team, you just have to dig in. Stem the tide. Get back into the game. Don't concede another goal. If you go 2 down here, then it really would be a hill to climb for Aston Villa.
Atkinson, Whittingham. And Joe Worrell saw that splendidly. His positioning there was perfect. He had a view of what was happening around the ball and what was happening off it.
He was quite prepared to let it go, had Dale and Atkinson stayed on his feet as well. He waited till he could see Atkinson was going to gain no advantage.
Great climb by Ince, who got the ball. Only back to Brian Small. Parker, Whittingham, was fully committed then. Gone through a little spate of giving away penalties, Gary Pallister, so each challenge in the penalty area has to be scrutinised from his own point of view, let alone the referees. Sharp chasing. Bosnich knew what had to be done and did it well. Gary Parker. Great interception there by Keane. Cantona. Barrett has him in his sights. And all he can do is prevent the corner. Already the player that Barrett's responsible for, although you could hardly direct it totally at Barrett's door, the blame, has given Manchester United the lead. Look at Bruce, look at the confidence of the champions. And let's not forget, we've made a lot of capital about how difficult it's been to retain the title. Liverpool have made a habit of it. Manchester United are certain that it's going to come this way, although they're not telling us publicly.
They'll feel sure that it's theirs already, but that's a measure of the confidence. This would have been one for the scrapbook. And that nestled in the top corner. Steve Bruce from 35 yards.
Alec Ferguson has been calling all the newspaper headlines about Manchester United's majesty and their lengthy lead propaganda. He said, if you think back what they used to do in the war to people who put propaganda about, that was an offence then, wasn't it? And he's found it a journalistic offence. But I did get him to admit that if Manchester United put together a run of wins in the sort of fixtures they've got coming up, that even he would begin to believe that it wasn't just propaganda, that it would be footballing fact. Got Blackburn coming here, of course, Leeds United as well on New Year's Day. Kanchelskis with the cross. Bosnich blocked it. And that's when the goalkeeper wants his defenders to be on their toes to help him out. And Earl Barrett lived up to that billing.
What a good save, man, because I think he wasn't expecting this at all. But then drove itself into the box. Another very good cross from Kanchelskis. I think he expects McGrath to get the header, and Paul McGrath for once doesn't.
We're in time now. Joe Worrell is choosing to add on. Pallister. Rain falling heavily again. Ince. Sharp waiting on the left. Keane joining Hughes in the centre. Well, in those sort of situations, Sean Teal is very reliable. Sharp. Cox coped. Atkinson, who's been allowed to play as a free spirit in this first half. He loves it when he gets the ball at his feet. However deep he is, he'll run. Hughes. Put out by McGrath, who loses out in turn to Keane. McGrath's there again. Aston Villa's record on this ground is a very poor one. They've won only once here in 39 years. Back in 1983 with a couple of Peter With goals. And they've been on the receiving end again at Old Trafford in the first half. But just one goal for Manchester United to show for their efforts. It came from Eric Cantona midway through the half. Villa tinkering with their tactical strategy to try and diffuse some of Manchester United's strengths. Well, it hasn't totally worked, but the gap at least is bridgeable. At half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United 1, Aston Villa 0. Eric Cantona, at the moment, with today's goal, leads the Manchester United scorers list. He has 12 to Mark Hughes' 11. 10 of Cantona's goals have come in the lead. Whittingham. Now Richardson. Nowhere to go wide on the right. Crossed by McGrath. Atkinson. Michael was only hurrying just to get the ball back.
That was a classic problem there that Kevin Richardson had. Going across the pitch, looking for an outlet, and there's nothing for him. Ends up playing the ball back to one of his centre-halves. A hopeful cross up there, and there's nothing much Dele actually can do. But he was looking around at his players, looking for width, and it wasn't there.
Neil Cox had actually got himself involved in midfield in one of those little enterprising dashes that were a feature, perhaps the best feature for Villa in the first half in an attacking sense. Oh, Kanchelskis put through by Hughes. Bosnich got the ball. It breaks for Sharp.
Rush of blood there from Lee Sharp. First and foremost, Kanchelskis' touch. It gives Bosnich a chance. Ball's played behind Shontel, but from here, that touch means the goalkeeper can come, and he does well from there. But look at the back post, look at Keane. And there's Mark Hughes there as well. And Lee Sharp blasts it over the top. That touch, and the goalkeeper picks his moment perfectly to get his hands to it. From here, when you need a little bit of composure, that's not Lee Sharp that we know.
Hughes just showing some interest at moving towards Bosnich, but not enough to give the goalkeeper any palpitations. It's still 1-0 to Manchester United. And Richardson picks it off. There are two up with him. Atkinson and Saunders. If he plays it right, there might be a chance here for Dean Saunders. Will it come back for Richardson? It does. He battered the ball goalwards. And Schmeichel, that strong man, was solidly behind it.
Well, that's the best situation Villa have had in the match. They really should have made more of it.
And it reminds us that it is still a match.
You look at this, I just thought Saunders maybe should have started his run in earlier, but from here, the ball wasn't perfect, the touch wasn't great. To get the run of it there, it's a difficult one for Kevin Richardson, and all he can do is hit it straight at Peter Schmeichel. But it was a glorious opportunity for them.
In the end, it was a more difficult version of the chance Cantona had when he gave Manchester United a lead. Ince, Irwin comes up alongside him. Ince, encouraged by that goal at Newcastle last weekend, tries his own luck. Flags up. Cantona, the scorer today. Schmeichel has tried one or two ambitious passes. This time it's the big hoof down the middle for Hughes. Was spotted by McGrath. Keane getting the better of Small. Hughes checking out, making space for himself, but the ball wasn't quite hit hard enough. McGrath was able to intervene. Kanchelskis. Hooked out by Teal this time. Not very far, though, off the head of Saunders and out of play. United having to show some patience here. Is that a foul throw? I think it was. And it will give Ron Atkinson an opportunity to make a change, to bring on Tony Daly, but to take off Dean Saunders.
honestly can't understand Tony Daly's position, Mark. I honestly thought he'd come on and provide Aston Villa with a bit more width, and there he finds himself right in the middle of the pitch, just doing exactly what's been happening previously. I thought they would have said to him, get on that wing, get yourself away, get some chalk on your boots, as you used to say in the old days, and try and open up the back four a little bit more.
Well, Manchester United might be a bit uneasy here. Richardson with the free kick. Whittingham is a real poacher in the penalty area, of course. Villa have chased some away games successfully this season. Of course, they've only lost once on their travels. That was at Liverpool. I was at Arsenal when they were 1 goal down and then came back with 2 late goals to win it. Chelsea, Teal saying that he went for the ball. Cantona is calling on Jim McGregor for some instant attention to Andrei Kanchelskis.
I think he's a bit unlucky, and the reason why is I thought his touch there was too far in front of Kanchelskis, and it was only his pace that rescued the situation, and he tempted Teal into the tackle. It looks a horrible tackle, but I think the worst it was mistimed. I really do. I have some sympathy with him there.
Alec Ferguson, who was named by the World Soccer magazine the World Manager of the Year. It's caused him a bit of embarrassment in the Manchester United camp. The players have been teasing him about it. But he might have to make a managerial decision here. Kanchelskis isn't going to make it easy for him by going off injured. Not yet. Cantona takes the free kick. Pallister. His defensive pal Steve Bruce alongside him there in attack. Pallister again. It's a ball out here. Cantona was the easier target. Pallister was looking for Kanchelskis. Aston Villa, you do feel sensing some hope here. Daly. Richardson for Daly again. Parker getting in. That was Whittingham with a little flick. McGrath trying to keep the action in United territory. On the ground he knows so well. Small. Keane was in the wards for a moment there. Atkinson. The referee not helping Kanchelskis defend. Daly. And Keane got the ball, but presumably was penalised for going in with studs showing.
No, I can't believe that decision. Can't believe it. Kane's committed to that ball. Look at that. Catches the ball there, takes ball in man, but he certainly takes the ball first. And that's why Manchester United players were so furious.
Well, is this the chance that Villa have been waiting for? Parker. Barrett. Watched by Sharp. Teal will keep it in. The boos go up for him for that incident with Kanchelskis, in which Teal was booked. Cox. Aston Villa taking it to the wire here. McGrath, great tackle. Parker. Well, it looked as though Earl Barrett coming in from the far side might find his way for an equaliser, and then Whittingham was hoping that the cross could get beyond Pallister, who had other ideas.
That is an absolutely brilliant defensive header from Gary Pallister, because the cross has got real quality in there. Look what a difficult decision he's got to make.
Michael with an authoritative catch, a quick kick, and it's the direct route for Manchester United A mistake by Small. Kanchelskis hasn't got much help. It's arriving now in the shape of Hughes. Oh, deflected by Teal, but it looked for a second as though it would be a telling deflection. It wasn't. Atkinson. Aston Villa really taking up the cudgels here. There were signs in the first half that this game would be settled by this stage and maybe earlier. It's certainly not.
Credit Aston Villa. They've kept themselves in the game. They've battled and scrapped really well. And at a very important time in the game, they've started to put some pressure on Manchester United.
And here comes Ryan Giggs. They're great friends as well as rivals for a particular job in the side. And there is a wonderful spirit in the Manchester United dressing room. I suppose you'd be surprised if there wasn't in these circumstances, but the players have been together, the vast majority of them, for 3 or 4 years. It was a point Alex Ferguson was making to me earlier today. Parker spinning it wide for Neil Cox. Whittingham brushed aside by Ince. Teal not making it easy for McGrath, but the two of them enough to stop Manchester United there. Whittingham chasing, out comes Schmeichel.
Spare a thought for Neil Cox, Martin. 80 minutes he's played against Sharp. Played him as well as anybody this season.
Seen him off.
Sees him off. Looks across at the touchline. Who's going on? He face him. Ryan Giggs.
Well, we know Giggs has got plenty about him, but I think Cox has shown that we can use the same expression today. 7 minutes to go. A lot of the clubs in the Premiership urging Aston Villa on here.
I'd shove Neil Cox forward and just go 3 at the back for us one, which you might be doing with Barrett McGrath and Teal, and just push Neil Cox right forward on that right-hand side, because he's been their best outlet wide for all of the game.
It's Aston Villa's 16th away game of the season. They've won 7, drawn 7, and just lost the 1. And I think you can see in the second half how they've done it. They've got commendable application on their travels. And they're pushing Manchester United back. Whittingham. Away by Ince, but not very far. McGrath saw that. Gary Parker again. Whittingham. Richardson is there. Oh, and Daly was as well on the shot by Cox.
Well, he had every right to hit it. But again, I tell you, they didn't look happy at the back. Manchester United had all sorts of trouble trying to clear this. Whittingham looking to set up Richardson, who drags it wide, but then is always struggling a little bit. And he's got every right to hit this Neil Cox, but doesn't control it at all.
And it's an edgy end to the game for Mike Ferguson's team. Relatively quiet here at Old Trafford, and that's a compliment to Aston Villa. McGrath. But as Villa with a genuine target of a European place for next season in terms of a high league position, they will draw something from this even if they lose the game.
Draw a lot more if they can get something up.
You spoke there for the first time like a man with a little bit of an interest in the Villa camp in your past life.
Totally unbiased, totally unbiased, man.
You kept your past very much under wraps today. Well, Schmeichel can take his time.
Players, you would call them.
When McGrath. Daly in the middle again. Not to the liking of Andy Gray. McGrath. Manchester United at the moment just making sure that their marking is right. Keane making a run alongside Parker. Alistair there. The ball dropped beyond both of them. Daly. Barrett has given it straight to Hughes. Cantona against Teal. And in comes Ryan Giggs. Bosnich again. Shows what a goalkeeper Manchester United lost when they decided to go for Schmeichel. But they've had no complaints, of course, from the Danish international, or about the Danish international. Here's Cantona, who worked that so well to line it up for Giggs. Keane. Whittingham with the tackle. Parker. Kanchelskis. Small again, stopping the supply. Well, how Aston Villa ruining that one moment when they almost had too many players back in their own penalty area. It deflected off Earl Barrett into Cantona's path for a straightforward chance, which is looking more and more as though it's going to decide the game. It's Kanchelskis. Whittingham. Good defending from the front by Manchester United. In the first half, they put on a real show, Alec Ferguson's team. But Aston Villa have shown some resolve in the second half. Just once or twice they've threatened the equaliser. And their previous record this season shows that they really go the distance away from home. Parker, Cantona wants it hit long. Linesman has a good look and decides the Frenchman is onside. Guided back beautifully for Hughes. Here's Giggs. Across goes McGrath. Giggs has passed him. Cantona. Oh, Giggs might yet get it. And Cox was the key defender there, with some appeals from the crowd, but not from many Manchester United players.
Did well, Neil Cox, because he had to make a lot of ground up. He had been caught upfield, chasing an equaliser. He made all the way back, all the ground back into his own penalty area.
Daly, Richardson, Whittingham. But this Manchester United defensive unit, and one of them, Bruce, puts Cantona away. He's in, he's scored, it's the game over now. Eric Cantona has made absolutely sure.
Well, it is game, set, match now. Cantona's run, you can see it, he loses Barrett. I still think, well, Paul McGrath's got a chance here. But look at Cantona. Not only does he get the touch perfect, he manages to keep his balance in a really difficult situation. And we never doubted whether he had the composure to finish it off, did we? That's a crucial touch, but look at the way he keeps his balance and strokes it so confidently past Mark Bosnich.
The man who's made for this club, it seems. Old Trafford, his stage. And he's a star amongst stars. It'll be hard on Villa if they concede yet another one here. And they might. Barrett's given it to Ince. They have done. 3-0.
Well, I feel for El Barrett, Mark. In the first half, it's his deflection. It took the ball into Cantona's path. The second goal, he lets Cantona run and he punishes him. And this time, when he's just trying to nurse it back to the goalkeeper, he gets it hopelessly wrong. And Paul Ince is suddenly
dominated for so long, but when they break free, look what damage they do. 2 goals in a matter of seconds. Villa and United, who were so close to each other last season, now on this particular scoreline, on this particular afternoon, far apart.
Where it matters most, Martin, in my opinion, in football. And that's in the last third.
Oh, they've got one back, and it's Neil Cox who deserves it more than any other player for Aston Villa. 3-1. What a flurry of goals in the closing stages here. It was a 1-0 game, it seemed, for so long.
Incredible. I mean, he's the one man, as you say, who's caused problems up that end of the pitch. Got in ahead of Ryan Giggs, showed great determination to make something out of a hopeful ball, really, when it looks as if Ryan Giggs is favourite to clear this up. And he forces himself in front, and that's a super finish. But that's been the difference, we're saying. This has been the last third. It's so important in football. United have always looked that they were capable of scoring, whereas I think Villa haven't.
Well, halfway through the marathon, Manchester United have a massive lead, 13 points to the good. 2 goals from Eric Cantona here, and 1 from Paul Ince. A league double completed over the biggest danger to them last season.
We played them the year before, and we went 1-0 down, and it looked like we were going to lose the game, and then Sparky scored a great header. And obviously when we did play them this season, it was a very hard game, and it looked like 1-0 was going to be enough. And they scored again straight away, great balance. Paul McGrath tried to bring them down, and Eric showed what great players by just standing up and scoring. And then I played it 1-2 with El Barrett, I think. Give him the ball and they give it straight back to me. And I'll say it's 3-1. And then they went up and scored straight away, didn't they? I think it was about 3 goals in about 2 minutes, like that. So it's just one of those things I say at the end of the day, we're happy with the 3 points.
I just remember your celebration with the old finger. What was all that all about?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not used to scoring. That's probably what it is. It's just in case of just on instinct, you know. I don't think there's anything by it. I just in case of just doing it at the time. I've always said to myself that's been a big disappointment in my game. You know, I feel most parts of my other game were quite good. You know, I always felt that scoring goals was something that I hadn't got, like, you know. And I've seemed to like. I won't say I'm perfect with it now, but I've got 9 goals this year, and I'm looking to get double figures. And if I can do that, it's a start for me for next season.
But it ended up quite an exciting finish. But in the main, I felt we were the more powerful team and more purpose about us. Well, they had quite a lot of the ball without really threatening us. And Eric's performance was superb that day. Apart from the result, wonderful football. Well, I hope you enjoyed those videos and those goals and the great games. So when the next video comes out, I'm sure you're going to enjoy them again. See you.